And the Blue Jays win again. Howdy, folks. It's Sunday, July 20th, just after 8 p.m. And the temperature outside is, I don't know. I've got the AC blasting. And I am back from Prince Edward County, and I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I see Aiden Thompson-McGuire, Carol Ali, Alicia Lewis, Dylan Reynolds, Picard, Estelle, Drew, Medano, Chowdhury, Jennifer Gala, Boom Productions, Mary W, Vivian J, Randy R, Lavillian B, John Nicholson, Estelle, and everyone else. Lisa is here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to what's going to be a sober version of the Sunday Night Stumbles. I just drank too much over the past weekend and into last week as well. So unfortunately, the case of Diet Cherry Pepsi I ordered off of Amazon like 2 months ago, it was one of those things that I could order and it's like, we'll ship it when it's ready. Came while I was away and the package was not at my door when I got home. So yeah, someone stole it. So today I picked up a Cherry Coke Zero. So I went on the, or I picked up a case of this. I went on the Amazon chatbot thing. By the way, I've stopped, I only bought it because I couldn't get it at the supermarket. And it was on Amazon, not in stock. Yeah, that sucks, right? I mean, I know it's just a case of pop, but it just pisses me off that someone would take something that doesn't belong to them. Just don't let me catch you doing it. I went to the Amazon chat site or chat bot, and it's like, you have to wait 24 hours to report this. So I guess tomorrow I have to go back in, navigate that clusterfuck of a help site, and tell them it was gone and get my refund. Don't steal stuff from someone's porch or in front of their door. And if I ever catch someone doing it from my door, yeah, I'm probably not supposed to say this, and you can hate me for saying this, but I'm probably going to jail. The person doing it is probably going to the hospital, but I am probably going to jail. I will not handle that nicely at all. Brandon N. kicking off the night with the super chat. I swear the memes of Coldplay exposing the CEO, Andy Byron, have taken the internet by storm. Now there are parodies of it. Yeah, that was a wild, wild story, but hey, man, if you're going to sneak around on people, how about not doing it in front of tens of thousands of other people? Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you're doing a shitty thing. At least be smart about it. For a CEO, not a smart move. Anyone with a Zoom camera, anyone with like a phone like this easily could have turned around and caught them as well, right? I've got 100 times zoom here. They both deserve what's coming to them, and I hope their spouses get a nice little bit of compensation for their shitty spouses' acts, right? But who knows? Maybe they're in open marriages, open relationships. I don't know. I'm just judging. But yeah, no, I feel zero sympathy for them. They're stupid. You're out in a place with thousands of other people cheating on your spouse. Good on Coldplay for exposing that. But thank you, Brandon N. Jeanette says, I had $100 or a $100 package stolen from Amazon. Yeah, it's such a shitty feeling. Fortunately, Amazon are pretty good about it. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we're gonna have this cherry Coke. That's where I was getting at. So no edibles tonight. Oh, by the way, cheers to everyone one more time. Kind of miss my Diet Cherry Pepsi, which was $5.99. I had to pay $8.99 for a case of this shit. But I launched channel memberships on this channel. Someone wrote me on Patreon and said, hey, why don't you do that? And David Ing says, I cheated on you with T-shots. And Mojo2112, welcome to being a stumbler. So I just thought, why not? Please don't feel obligated to join. If you're a member on the Strides channel, you don't have to join here. If you're a Patreon supporter, again, when you're on when you support one channel, you support both channels. It's just something fun and kind of goofy. Lisa says, oh, I don't. But Jeanette Morales, Vivian Johnson, Alicia Lewis, and Madano 1973 all signed up pretty much right away. Thank you so much to you four, and thank you to Mojo 2112. The only real perk you guys get are you get to be shouted out. I might do a members video every once in a while, but Douglas says, won't memberships on Stumbles make more work for you? Yeah, it cost me about 2 minutes setting them up. But anyways, Stumbles is not about, I don't make my living off of Stumbles. We're here for fun. Vivian says, hey, too late. I already joined. I want a cookie rebate. Mojo says, I won't call you, but I do appreciate it. So thank you to the 5 of you who have joined. But yeah, the perks are you get a little badge next to your name. I might do a members video once in a while, and I'll say thank you to you. Those are the perks. Harold Reynolds says, something is rotten in the state of Denmark was written long before the internet protocol assigned people .dk to Danish websites. Jenny Krutzkamp, welcome to Stumbler. Cheers to you, Jenny Krutzkamp. And by being the 6th member ever, you get an applause. Thank you, Jenny. Chris Mill says, how is the Charco cookie? You know what? The Charco cookie put me to sleep. That thing was like a sleep bomb. I ate it my first night in Prince Edward County, and I passed the fuck out like almost right away. It wasn't like a, I'm lying in bed with my thoughts to myself kind of thing. It was like a eyes closed, no pulse, check me in the morning kind of thing. Like, yeah, so that's what happened. That's what happened with the Charco cookie. It just completely knocked me out. So it wasn't a bad thing at all. Brandon N says, I'm actually going to PEC this weekend coming up. You're going to where in Prince Edward County? I kind of feel like a semi-expert in it. Flick Hunter, welcome to Stumble Tier. Or Stumbler. Flick Hunter. It's been a pleasure meeting you several times now. Thank you, Flick Hunter. When we get up to 8 members, it's going to start putting people on the homepage. That's what YouTube was trying to get me to dangle the carrot of enticement with. Anyways, Hunden says it was probably that fresh country air. I just pulled a few pictures off of my phone that I've been lazy getting around to getting up on Instagram, so we can look at those once I get the green screen set up. I also don't have all my lighting turned on. I thought we'd go with a little bit of a dark mood lighting. By the way, I don't know why my chat's over there. I can put my chat right in the middle. Mojo says, Johnny, I did guess Belleville. Come on, I was close. Belleville was very close. I'm going to have to go back. I've heard that Belleville has a wonderful trail along the waterfront that would make a really nice cycling video. Hopefully it has better internet, but I'll be back at some point. KJ Edwards, welcome to Stumbler. Thank you, KJ Edwards. Wow, you guys are making me blush here. So according to YouTube's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we hit 8. Awesome. Lisa says, if you go to Belleville and don't see Vivian, you will be unsubbed and blocked. Vivian, I'll ask you now, do you want to be in a video or live stream, or do you just want to let it be known that I said hi to you? I won't put you on the spot. I wish I planned things a little better last time, but my hands were a little bit tied in terms of what I was doing and when I was doing them. But and had to rush back a little bit on Saturday, but it was a great trip overall. Simon Katie says Old East Hill in Belleville. Lots of old mansions. Excellent internet. Awesome. Eugenate says went to the Honda Indy today instead of watching the Blue Jays play the Giants. I know Math Doctor was watching it. I was kind of trying to keep abreast of things during my live stream. Yeah, what did I live streamed? Yeah, yesterday I came back and I went to Big on Bluer. So that'll be a Toronto video coming up. I have a driving video to post. And yeah, today I just went to the South Asia Festival on Gerrard Street. It was a really chill festival, except for an interview I did that in hindsight I should have refused, and I definitely should have walked away in the last question. But I mean, journalistic integrity and six buzz don't exactly mix. So, but other than that, it was a great live stream, great event this afternoon. Really, really chill street festival. So was Big on Bluer. These were probably my two favorite street festivals from a point of view of just walking around. They weren't super crowded. They were kind of chill. They both had places to sit, places in the shade. They both had lots of food. You didn't have to line up for food that seemed reasonably priced and smelled really good. Yeah, so a couple of great festivals were going on in the city. Lisa says, I did not go to Big on Bluer, but you did go to the art gallery. Neat. Jays will be looking for pitching at the deadline, possibly. Do you think the Blue Jays are for real? I think they're for real in the sense that they're at least a wild card team. You can never rule the Yankees out. They're starting to get hot again. Mary W says, Johnny, where's the membership info for this channel? I think it's just on the main page. I don't really know. It's almost remarkable how little I know about YouTube. Hey, I see Henry is in Calgary. Holy shit. Henry Toronto Tech and Transit is in Calgary. Went live from Calgary. Neat. Yeah, you just go to the main page and you'll see a tab for membership. Eugenate says, will the Blue Jays ever lose a home game again after winning 10 in a row? I don't know. Brandon Ed says, don't put your trust in Toronto teams. We'll see. We'll see. It's cool that they're kicking right now. I was looking for tickets to go to the Yankee game tomorrow night, but I do not feel like paying $100 per ticket to sit in the upper deck to watch them play the Spankies. My prediction for that series, Jays win 2-3. The win streak at home will be broken. The Yankees are playing really, really solid ball the last few days. Jenny says the Blue Jays still have till September to get through and hopefully October. Let's hope. Let's hope. I'm just trying to catch up on some of your messages. I know I missed a lot. You seem fortunate to afford travel. Thanks for sharing from the GTA Bay Street law clerk struggling right now. Oh, sorry to hear that, LA. Keep your chin up. Hopefully you'll be able to get out and do some traveling. Johnny, if you take my picture, it will break your camera, but up to you. I just think you would like the area here. Yeah, I would like to explore it there, Vivian. And I'm sure viewers will be happy to see you. Muhan says, how are you? I am good. Flick Hunter says the Jays are a legit wagon. It's great that guys like Joey Loperfido, Nathan Lucas, Ernie Clement, just kind of fill in the blanks guys have really stepped up. Addison Barger, just a husk of a human with a couple of massive biceps. He does not hit the ball lightly. I know Vladdy is supposed to be our big guns, but Addison Barger, like every single time he hits a home run, it is a moonshot. So hopefully that he is the real deal. Elvin says, Johnny, any more international live streams towards the end of the year? If I go somewhere internationally, for sure, and I will. Noni says, are you comfortable with the closer for the Jays? Hoffman? If you asked me this a few months ago, no. If you ask me this now, yes. Math Doctor says Addison Barger for city mayor. I think he's been the single biggest difference for the Jays. Yes, rip Jim Clancy. Growing up, it was Jimmy Key, Dave Stieb, Jim Clancy. Clancy was always the second or third starter, which is still a really, really good asset to have. Sad times. A lot of our Tony Fernandez was probably the Blue Jay passing away that kind of hit me the hardest because I just remember him so vividly. But yeah, rip to Jim Clancy. Flick Hunter was a bit worried when 2 teams passed on Hoffman. Brown says, looking good, brother. Thank you. Jenny Kritzkamp says, don't forget Hanky, the Terminator. Who can forget Hanky? David Wells setting him up. Then, or was it Dwayne Ward? He had Wells and Ward, right? Wells went on to be a starter in New York and throw a perfect game while drunk or something like that. Legend has it. But yeah, a lot of great blue. My favorite Blue Jay of all time, number 1 Blue Jay, in my opinion, of all time, Jesse Barfield. For me, it was all growing up. Barfield and Kelly Gruber were like the two guys I just absolutely loved as a kid. Math Doctor says, thank goodness for Eric Lauer. Makes up for Bowden Francis. Brandon N says, I remember when Roy Halladay died in a plane crash that hit you real hard. Yeah, that one was perhaps the most shocking just because dude was still young enough. He could walk out into the mound and throw a good game. That one really sucked. But yes, a rip to Jim Clancy. Boom says, I saw the mayor, Olivia Chow, dancing Bollywood style at Little India today, earlier during your stream. Hey, man, love her or hate her. She's out there in the city, right? She's always at these events. Weekends, she doesn't have to work. She's out there. So good on her for doing that, and cool that she does that. Although I remember going to Taste It, or not Taste. I keep wanting to say Taste. All our festivals are Taste This, Taste That. The Festival of South Asia, I think in 2001, and I saw John Tory just walking along the street. Not dancing, not doing anything, but he was there. Cool for him. Jenny says Gruber, Stottlemyre, and Witt. Gruber, Stottlemyre, and Witt. And who could back up both Gruber and Witt? The Blue Jays had one player who could back anyone up but pitcher. His name was Rance Mulliniks. Davis Schneider's kind of like a modern version of him. Sapand was at the Honda Indy race show earlier at the CNE. Neat. As we drink our Coca-Cola Zero Sugar out of a can. Jeremy says, will there be Taste of Danforth this year? I think there will be. I think that BIA has had a new one torn for them enough over their decision to cancel it. Don't forget Buck Martinez. We still have Buck's still he's still an honorary J, right? Had a really rough go as manager, but he's still with us, calling the games. Dan Schulman is probably I miss Pat Tabler for some reason. I don't know why. Do you remember the Manalist, Greg Zahn? He tried to, after he got fired for being a total creep, he tried to start his own YouTube channel, Manalist TV. He obviously paid a lot of people a lot of money to set it up, and it failed pretty hard. But that's what you get for being a creeper in the office, Greg Zahn. Mojo says, Olivia met her on a boat in the harbor, my buddy's boat. We were drunk. An off-duty harbor cop was driving. It was early 90s, you think? Neat. Neat. Lisa says they haven't announced anything, and it happens in August. Will there be a Taste of Danforth this year? Let's see what Google Gemini has to say.
Yes, the Taste of the Danforth is scheduled for August 8 to 10, 2025.
The Taste of the Danforth is scheduled for August 8th to 10th, 2025. Google Gemini is not wrong, but what does ChatGPT say? Will there be a Taste the Danforth this year? What does ChatGPT say? Yes, Taste of the Danforth is returning after being paused in 2024 due to funding issues. The Blood Festival is back on the calendar for August. Friday, August 8th to Sunday, August 10th. There you go. Rip John Cerruti, another one. I wouldn't be surprised if Zahn had a podcast and got it canceled. Mojo says, dude, I gave stories. Met Robbie Alomar in the elevator at the Dome. We had a private room. Robbie lived there. When my grandparents went to the game, or every year they would get a room in the dome overlooking the field as just like a gift to themselves. Their favorite player was Juan Guzman, and they checked in, and we were there too. They would invite me and my parents to come watch the game, and they couldn't get the door open to their room, so they called for help. There was like a phone in the hallway. And then Juan Guzman comes walking through the hallway because he lived in like one of the rooms right next to where my grandpa, on the other side, not facing the field, of course. And my grandfather looks at him and goes, "Are you here to fix our door?" And my grandmother was just like, "Ah, it's Juan Guzman." It was just kind of a funny memory. My grandfather asking Juan Guzman if he was there to fix their door. But yeah, a lot of Jays used to live in the dome. Sportsnet put out a top 10 Blue Jays moments, and they excluded Robbie Alomar's homer. I think it was off of Eckersley in Oakland. One of the most pivotal moments in Blue Jays history. Just because you're a creep doesn't erase your accomplishments, right? So I think they rightfully got blasted in the first comment I was looking for was like, where the fuck is Alomar's home run? And the first comment in that video was like, yeah, thanks Sportsnet, you guys suck. But anyways, yeah, this is this is a town that embraces whatever sports team gives us hope at the moment. Right now it's the Jays. We all know the Leafs are perennial losers. Lisa says ChatGPT and Gemini can suck it. The info seems to be bad. Where did they get that information from? If I go to Taste of the Danforth, Greektown BIA, come for the food, stay for the fun. They've got a website up, but it says Taste of the Danforth. Okay, their website is still based on 2023. Fire and Ice 2025. What is... Oh, that's a festival that went on in February. You are right. They haven't updated their website. There's no official confirmation of it. Where are ChatGPT and Gemini getting their info from? Jack CW says Sportsnet tried to raise their Plus subscription by 45%. It's bad enough that Sportsnet is effectively propaganda, because who's going to be critical of like the owners of your own product, right? Like, remember when they fired or when they got rid of Anthopoulos and they brought in, you know, these idiot Shatkins, and how they weren't, like, TSN was super critical, the Globe, all the newspapers were, but Sportsnet, crickets. Remember when they pulled Barrios for Kikuchi, the worst move in sports history, and no one got fired? Sportsnet, not that critical of it. And like, it's a propaganda machine, and they're raising prices on everyone, like astronomically. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to be sailing the friendly seas to get their baseball, you know, downloading TV Mate on the old Fire Stick and dialing in a service that's not very expensive that gets you all the sports in HD 60 frames per second, but that's all I can say. Mojo, nobody hits 400 anymore. Those days are over. There's a few guys who have kind of flirted with it. Billy T says regulate. Vivian Johnson, your phone says returning in August 8th to 10th. What source on your phone told you that, though? Was it Gemini? If you have an Android, it was probably Gemini that told you that. The same source that I used. Ali says, great story from your grandpa, but I think I recall you didn't grow up in Toronto. I grew up in Mississauga. Going to Blue Jay games was a regular thing. I went to the Dave Steeb perfect game broken up by Roberto Kelly. I was there sitting on the third base line. I remember going to Argos games at Exhibition Stadium. I was at the opening series at the Sky Dome. So yeah, I grew up doing a lot of baseball. Mojo says, I missed the knuckleball. You miss R.A. Dickey. You miss Charlie Huff, I think his name was. There's a guy in the A's with a 322 average, league leading. Smokes was at that game too. Holy smokes. My dad was at the first game ever as well. Remember Argos at the Sky Dome? Such a terrible idea. Such a terrible idea that was, but yes. Is this chat competition a new thing? I can't take this pressure. Oh, is that this whole thing where it's like, I don't even know what that is. Why does it start saying like #1 top fans? If I click that, Brandon is the #1 fan. Math Doctor's #2. Quils, KWISXN, KWIL is #3. Jack, I don't know how it's ranking you guys. It says, what's the leaderboard? A place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in the live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points. Here's how to get them. Send live chat messages. Send super chats and super stickers. Hard eye roll on that one. I don't like pay-to-play stuff. That's kind of lame. I'll see. This is something for me to ask if other people are turning that off. I don't even know if I can turn that off, but that's kind of a fun thing. Remember Josh Tolley? Who does, that's like saying remember Lyle Overbay. That's a weird one to remember. Chris Mills, I'm number 28 with a bullet. Congrats, Chris Mills. Anyways, Phuket Walk is here. Greetings, Phuket Walk. Rome with sign must be nearby. Good morning to you. Estelle, where's your wrench? Don't you have a wrench on here? I don't know where your wrench went, but I just added it to you. Hopefully you got that back. Lisa's out 18 and proud. Maybe it's time to move over to green screen territory. Let's get this. How do I do this? Let me move this over here. I'll move that down. Display capture. Pow. You guys are looking at a picture of the skyline. Thoughts on Koh Samui, the island? It's a very nice island. It's very expensive for what it is, but I would go. You can see my videos from there from a few years ago. We are just doing a little presto changeo. Hey, Colbert got axed by CBS. Yes, let's fire the #1 talk show, late night talk show, in a very competitive environment. And one of the few reasons anyone even has to ever watch network TV before. 100%. That was part of the settlement with Trump, just because Colbert called out his own network for a quote-unquote bribe. Okay, let me go filters, chroma key. Let's turn that on. Let's see. Oop, there I am. Yeah, that sucks. Clearly Colbert is being silenced. I think Jon Stewart is probably next. Ooh, what a dystopian shit future we live in. But the good news about Colbert is someone's going to pick him up, right? Look what happened to Conan. He ended up getting a show where he could do whatever he wanted, and he was able to bring his whole staff with him. On a side note, apparently Conan O'Brien is just like the biggest sweetheart of a human being. He's the opposite of Ellen DeGeneres or Jimmy Fallon. Like every single person who works for him is basically family. And he even went into his own pocketbook to make sure everyone was still up and running when he got laid off by NBC and switched over to TBS, because there was a period where he had a non-compete and he couldn't do his show. So a lot of his staff were out of work. So yeah, I think Colbert is more of like the Conan kind of beloved solid person thing. But yeah, Conan is awesome. Stephen Colbert, awesome. The only person I even watch other than them are The Daily Show. I like everyone on The Daily Show. And Seth Meyers is pretty good with his recaps. But I don't really watch Kimmel. I never watched Corden. That guy sucked. I don't watch Fallon. I can't stand him. He gives me the creeps. But yeah, I watch Seth Meyers recaps. I watch Colbert. Seth Meyers and Colbert basically have the same Trump impersonation. It's kind of funny. Jennifer Gallus says orange censorship. Hopefully he's not going to shut down Canadian YouTubers. I also think Kimmel is next. Yeah, Trump has a vendetta against Kimmel, but he actually sued Paramount, right? So he had a chance to get rid of Colbert. So he did. Billy T liked Carson. You know, I saw something on TV that apparently Johnny Carson was kind of an asshole. Like, he would steal a lot of the jokes and he wouldn't really promote young comedians. Jerry Seinfeld was the one who was like not very fond of Johnny Carson, and he went into like a very long list of reasons why that was. But I wasn't old enough to see that. But yeah, that was actually a YouTube video that I watched. I also watched a YouTube video earlier today. Let me see if I can pull this up. On a guy, I think it was it on CBC Docs? Yeah, if you want to see a fascinating story, check out The Yorkville Swindler. Toronto con artist tells all. Romance, art, investments. Apparently this... Craig Ferguson. Craig Ferguson and his robot Jeff. I humbly think Craig Ferguson was the greatest of all time late night talk show host. That guy had absolutely no budget. It was just unbelievably hilarious. I loved Craig Ferguson. And Jeff. Jeff was hilarious, but him and Conan are easily 1 and 2 on my list of all-time greatest late night talk show hosts. We got to put Arsenio on there too, because he was the first one I ever watched regularly. But Toronto con artist tells all. This was a really well done documentary. I'm surprised that Netflix hasn't picked up this story and done something on it. But if you think watching Donald Trump speak is hard, you should see this guy speak. This guy who basically ripped off where is he? Every single word out of this man's mouth in this documentary is bullshit. He is a pure narcissistic liar who grew up in Toronto. He moved to Toronto at a young age, and he claimed to be an heir to like the Ovaltine fortune, and he swindled a lot of people. He married women on false pretenses. Yeah, just a fascinating story, and he seems quite proud of himself, right? So yeah, go watch it. Go watch it. Toronto con artist tells all. Romance, art, investment scams. Stop watching this stream if you want and watch that. It's really well done. It's fascinating. And you get to see a lot of cool like Toronto cinematography. So that's part of it as well. But I recommend it. You know, maybe we shouldn't be giving this guy any more attention, but yeah, it's a well done documentary and it shows a lot of Toronto, so I'm all for it. Bill Chow says, Johnny Stumbles, I watched the Yorkville Swindler on CBC's documentary channel last year. Awesome. Speaking of Toronto, I was halfway through this video when I had to start preparing for this stream. Trams are great, so why are the streetcars so bad? This is a video by Not Just Bikes about the streetcar situation mostly in Toronto. It's a really well done video so far. I genuinely like how Jason doesn't hold back in his content. We could say that. He's very, very ranty. A lot rantier than I am, but a lot more well said than I am. Sanjay in Kingston is here. Greetings, Sanjay in Kingston. And another video I have not yet watched that popped up into my feed is this guy who perhaps has one of the most entertaining voices of all time. He did a video, this is Canada, ? I explored Toronto's dark, seedy underbelly. This is what I saw. He also did a video, Alberta, the province that wants to be a part of America. That video kind of pissed me off because like 20% of nut jobs in Alberta actually want that. The vast majority of Alberta does not want that. So that's such a shitty take to have. Yeah, LA says I used to watch him regularly, and when he went to YouTube, who this guy? So yeah, I thought this was like, you know, I don't agree with him on most things, but I think it's entertaining, and I like the way he makes videos. So it is what it is. But I want to watch this one. This is Canada. I explored Toronto's dark, seedy underbelly. This is what I saw. I went to Canada's capital. They hate us up here. That one was a cool watch. He went to Ottawa. Could you try Time Guesser again? Maybe. But includes paid promotion, so he got sponsored. Jack CW says that's a depressed ginger title. Jeremy says can't go wrong with admiring Conan O'Brien hair. Downtown Toronto, Canada.
That's a big tent. Oh, they even have their dog food bowls out. Wow, these people just made a fire pit. They got a fire ring out here.
I don't recognize where this is yet.
They dug a fire ring. I have never seen that before. Just like they're in the mountains. You think you're in a camp spot in the middle of nowhere, but
Where is this?
you're in a downtown park in Toronto.
Is this
He's just off to go get some firewood. Hey everybody, Nick here, and Ken. Hey Ken.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome to Canada.
Anyways, I'm gonna watch that. I'll save my judgment for that for later. But hey, it's on Toronto. Lisa says that's the East End. Yeah. I can't spot where that street is either. Normally, all I need is like a glimpse of Toronto, and I know where we are. But those are on my to-do list for watching. Hey, only 64,000 people watched that. He went all the way up to Alberta, made a whole video, and only got 64K views. Although I should talk, I get a lot less than that. Estelle says you'll be flying up to Noosa here in Queensland. Neat. Strombolopoulos going Canadian bands in his living room was super. I'm enjoying Reed on the Street. Seems like such a good guy. Who is Reed on the Street? Reed in the Street. Okay, that looks like Victoria Park and Danforth, if I'm not mistaken. There's nowhere else where you'll have that building and the subway going through a park there. Anyways, inside a Toronto hood, struggling. Okay, so these are some serious topics. Hopefully they're handled well and with some dignity, and they're not just exploiting. Never seen the channel. I'll give it a look and decide myself. Aren't they? I don't know what I'm reading. But anyways, how about the funding for PBS being canceled? Yeah, it's a shit topic. It's a shit topic for sure. What's going on down south? But you know what though? I'm looking forward to Colbert's next 10 months. Right? What does he have to lose? Lorraine says Reed is trying to help. That's good to hear. Yeah, I generally, people often comment on my videos like, hey, where are the homeless people? Where are the crazy drug addicts? A, there's not that many of them. You know, it's not like they're every block or anything. B, I tend to point the camera away from them when I see them. I'm always scanning off in the distance. It's not really something that I'll even cross the street. You know, you have no right to privacy out in public. That's cool. If you're in a video, you're in a video. I don't fucking care. Cry about it all you want. But there's certain things I'd just rather not show. So that's, for the most part, you know, sometimes you can't avoid it. But yeah, I don't think I could make videos like this. I would have to ask everyone up front, hey, are you comfortable being on camera? And then you just broke the whole the whole immersion of it. But anyways, sad, looks like sad topics explored in that channel, but hopefully they do them really well. Mojo says, I noticed you turned the cam. That's cool. Yeah, there's the most awkward one I ever did. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but someone sent me an email thanking me for it, and someone made a mention in the comments on it. Where was it? Because yeah, like I don't like the idea of exploiting things. Salsa on St. Clair. I'm going up the stairwell here. Come on, play. What's wrong with YouTube? Right? And it just so happens that there's someone in a very short skirt in front of me. Like, you have no idea what a creepy person you feel like when you're following someone up the stairs with a camera in your hand. So, yeah, I basically turned my whole body sideways and I walked up the stairs going sideways because I'd rather do that than go back and re-record. But, yeah, there's just an example. And then I sped up and awkwardly ran around her while sideways. So it's just like, be aware, like, there's certain things that, like, I don't think are cool. Like, I don't, if there's a kid who's like on a playground or something, I usually keep my distance. I don't like to get too close to that type of thing either. I won't put them in thumbnails. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like, we all have our own principles when we record, because anything in public is fair game. But people that look like they need help, I generally avoid. Situations like that, I don't want to look like a creeper. Anyways, yeah. Mojo says common sense and courtesy goes a long way. Yeah, hopefully. That's how people see it. Is Henry still live in Toronto Tech and Transit? Henry is... Oh, he's doing... Oh, he was vertical there. He's live in Calgary. Jillian says the public is a fair game indeed. There's a dude who apparently was going around Carlton wearing those Ray-Ban glasses with the camera, like getting up in people's faces and recording them. Like, that's not cool, right? It's not illegal, but it's creepy and weird and not cool. Those glasses are cool. I like them. I hope they get stabilized in higher quality so I can buy a pair and make my videos with them. But yeah, like, there's just limits that you need to set, right? Like, whenever I interview anyone, I always ask them, hey, is it cool if I put the camera on you? If someone starts talking to me, hey, Johnny, like, is it cool if you're on the video? Like, yeah, I don't know. Lisa says, can you really say that and then also say you want to get them? Because I think they're the creepiest. I think as long as they have, like, the red light on them that says they're recording and other people understand what that means, I think it's fine. It's no different than holding a camera. If you're wearing the glasses and they've got that big red LED that says, hey, these are camera glasses, I just think they're kind of cool personally. And what's cool about those glasses, if you try to, like, tape over that red light, they won't record, right? So as long as other people know that that's what's up. Sheena Roberts, welcome to Stumbler. Sheena Roberts, so we've got 9 Johnny Stumblers tonight joining. I just launched channel membership. Thank you, Sheena Roberts. Cheers to you. Mojo says, like the shutter click. Yeah, when I went to Korea, all the cameras had these, all the phones had these really, really loud shutter sounds whenever you took a picture. Even if you put your phone on mute or silent, it would make a really audible, like, clicking sound. And that was just so that other people would be aware that you were taking pictures. That was the law there. I think that still is the law there. But that was the first time I came across that because, you know, all our phones, I went there in 2007. Our phones here had cameras. They're all shit potato cameras, but you could turn them off. You could turn the sound off. But in Korea, they were all on by default, which was kind of neat. Jollykin says this membership stuff is intrusive. How is it intrusive? Explain. You could just ignore it if you want. That's not being intrusive. I don't think you know what the word means if you're saying that. David Ace, welcome to Stumbler. Cheers to you, David Ace. Thank you for joining. We're up to 10 members. Maybe I'll put you guys in the opening credits. But thank you, David Ace, our number 3, the number 3 top fan, Medano. That's weird. The top fan thing, I still don't know. Mojo says 1984, Big Brother is always watching. But yeah, these are the streets of Calgary. Hey, Novell Koss is there. You're a cheater, Novell Koss. Miss Loblob, Franny14, Josh Key Cover, Flick Hunter is there. Flick, double dipping on the streams, but thank you for supporting Henry as well. Henry's an awesome dude. And I'm kind of jealous of him. Does anyone know why he's in Calgary? Maybe I should stop. And it looks like he's got some locals leading him around, which is really awesome. But if you want to watch his stream, maybe you should go to his channel. Sapan says I'm watching Henry right now. Actually, yeah, I want to watch that. Did T-Shots go live last night? Oh, there's Ken in her title. Toronto Live Saturday evening. A broken toe. Oh no, a broken toe. That sucks. Hope she's doing well. When did Ken go live last? Ken went live. And what was his recent video? Way uptown, rush hour, 15 kilometers north of downtown Toronto. He is doing a tour. He posted his itinerary. We'll have to check that out. Ken went live 2 days ago. Toronto Tech and Transit. So that must be under his posts. No, where did he post his itinerary? Oh, here we go. Tomorrow, Scarborough Bluffs. Oh, this was 2 months ago. This was 2 months ago. I don't see where that was posted. Anyways, maybe it's time to wander off the YouTubes and check what's going on BlogTO. New laws and rules coming to Ontario next month. Medano says it was a members only post. BlogTO always does this when it's a slow news day. Brand new Toronto Dollarama location already planned for demolition for condos. The Quebec-based dollar store opened a new location at 20 Leslie Street in 2024. However, the brick and beam office building home to this Dollarama and a Salvation Army thrift store known as The Station is already the subject of a new development application. Given the way the... at Leslie Street and Eastern Avenue, that's pretty far south. Given the way the housing market's going, that's probably years and years away from happening. And let's not feel sorry for Dollarama. They can just pop up somewhere else. Toronto house with visible holes in roof still expected to fetch $700,000. Visible holes in roof. I would describe that as like derelict. Instant demolition. A Toronto home at 37 Allister Avenue has been in rough shape since 2018 when it sold for $777,000. Site basically unseen, but then potential buyers weren't even allowed inside. The listing stated that viewings were limited to walking the lot with the agent, and that's probably what the buyers did since they never managed to do anything with the derelict 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. Yeah, that... You are paying for the lot, and you are also going to have to pay to tear that thing down. Lisa says it clearly can't be developed for some reason. Maybe the people who bought it thought they could gut it and, drop several $100,000 into it and keep it, but maybe there's something wrong with the foundation. Yeah, maybe look at that's a pretty suburban area. You get a big yard. I don't know. Where is 37? Where is that? 37 Alistair. Ooh, that's way out by the bluffs. That ain't going to be easy if I were to go make that a mission. There it is. Doesn't look too bad from the street. But man, where you'd be taking the GO train to get downtown from there. It's a fixer-upper, duct tape forever. It's a teardown. Yeah, I think teardown is probably the right word for that. Does anyone know where Mark is? I do not know, Cam. But, you know, sometimes people wander away. They go to different YouTube channels. They get tired or sick of me. You know, obviously I'm grateful for every viewer, but when someone leaves, I respect that. It's I do notice when regular people who are regulars step away, but it's we all have free will, so hopefully they're doing well. They're doing bigger and better, happier things, right? Maybe I gave a piece of bad financial advice and they took it, and now they're spiteful of me, even though I would never do that because I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Toronto's Weed Fair is back next month, but last year's drama lingers. Wasn't it like a shit show last year? Wasn't it just like basically being in a mosh pit? Toronto's Kind Summer Fair is returning to the city from August 12 to 13, but not everyone is lighting up with excitement. While the annual cannabis celebration promises immersive brand experiences, live music, and networking opportunities, many Toronto weed lovers have forgotten how last year's fair left a bad taste in their mouths, and not the kind that edibles are supposed to deliver. Jenny K got tired of the threat of thin ice hanging over my head, so I came back. Jenny K, you are on the strongest and sturdiest of ice surfaces, so don't worry. Mac and Cheese says your mods ban everyone. Can I just correct that? The mods don't ban anyone. I ban people. I make the rules. Don't put it on the mods. Put it on me. I can unban people as well, right? Generally, if someone gets banned, I'm cool bringing them back to life after 30 days. I'll just leave it at that, but sometimes, you know, that's not the way things hang out. But don't blame the mods for anything. The mods are awesome. I'm very, very grateful for them, each and every one of them. They're such a huge part of what makes this community amazing. But don't pin anything on them. It's I made the channel rules. They're just doing their best with the shitty rules that I have made, right? So yeah, it's me. I'm the one who bans people. Don't pin things on the mods, please. Anyways, Toronto's Weed Fair is back. Yeah, we read that. Jack CW says the mods ate my homework. Lorraine McLean says the mods are great. Yeah, don't be racist. Don't be shitty. Don't insult other people. Don't be hateful. Is it really that hard to not do those things? If you don't do those things, you're more than welcome to be in the chat. That's all I'll say. LA says I used to mod for Crime Talk for 2 years. It's great. Gertesh says I'm looking forward to hearing your rants on the Crosstown LTR. LRT. All moderators deserve an award. Oh, Johnny Stumbles. Vivian said Henry was talking to me on his stream. Sorry, I don't have the volume up. The history of Lime Ricky's in Toronto. I remember there used to be a Lime Ricky's in the Eaton Centre. There used to be a Lime Ricky's across from Square One in Mississauga. That was kind of like a happening place to be back then. Neat stuff. Daytime rave in Toronto promises to have you home in bed by 10 p.m. People are just going to be tripping in the middle of the day. Do people do raves sober? I don't think you could really do that. Not that I know. People are fighting to stop demolition of an Ontario diner around for over 60 years. The Midway Diner. Where's that? In Barrie, Ontario. Christopher Watkins says, how does a mod become a mod? We have a lot of mods, but there's a few people that have asked, and I just have a list. And that's it. We just go down the list, and if someone seems like they would be up for it, we add them. But we have plenty right now, so we are all very, very. You can ask, you can send an email, sure, but we're good at the moment. There's a lot. In a good way. In a good way. It's like having too many Addison Bargers on your team. Mac and Cheese says, give Johnny gifts. Toronto's Finch West LRT makes final steps, but still no opening announced. After years of construction delays, what do you think's going to open? Line 5 or Line 6? Isn't it weird that we're calling these line numbers? They're glorified streetcars or trams. Greg says, no such thing as too many bargers, laughing your ass off. Hey, man, that guy is a stud. I'm so glad that he was given the chance he did. He hits moonshots all day long. Neither. That's the Metrolinx promise. Hey, the TTC has a new CEO, and I actually kind of like some of the things he said. He's not Andy Byford, but who is he? I was kind of impressed. Mandeep Lally. Mandeep was previously a New York Transit executive, also worked for Transport for London. With the Eglinton, Crosstown, and Finch West both over budget and overdue, new TTC CEO spoke on Metro Morning about his mission to increase safety and reliability for the transit agency. Reliability and safety, like, if those aren't your two top priorities, then you shouldn't have this job. So at least he's saying the right things, because I don't think those were the priorities of the last few guys to hold that mantle, right? Not since Andy Byford have we had someone who actually gave a fuck about safely and reliably moving people around Toronto. Didn't Byford go to New York City? He went to New York City, and now I think he's running Amtrak in the States. But this dude seems to bring with him pretty good credentials. So let's see how this plays out. Let's get rid of these slow zones. And hopefully he plays nicely with Metrolinx, because that is like the roommate from hell if you're that guy. Yeah, I need to go check this park out. This is on my list of things to do this week. I don't know how to say that. I've never heard that said before. Bidasige? I'm sure it's a native word. I don't mean to be ignorant. I've just never heard it pronounced. I didn't even know this was the name. If someone can phonetically drop this down in the chat, you would be absolutely amazing, so I can burn that in my memory and just start practicing saying it so it rolls off the tongue. Is Toronto's new must-see space with amazing views and a zip line. Yes, this is in the island formerly known as Villiers, Ukwe-Minising, I think. Toronto's newest waterfront public space is sure to be a hit this summer, and you can check it out for yourself at the park's grand opening event happening this weekend. Oh, here we go. Bidasige. We'll put that alongside Queen's Quay as something that I am going to mispronounce in my head every time I read it, and hopefully say it correctly every time I open my dumb mouth, which translates to sunlight shining towards us. Oh. It's always so thoughtful what these things translate to. Is an impressive new space in the burgeoning Portlands area built around a human-made river mouth in an area of the city that was a barren wasteland just a few years earlier. Yeah, this was an industrial wasteland. But I'm going to go there. Maybe take my e-bike down there, lock it up, and go for a walk around the area because it's not the best transit accessible place. Math Doctor says that's about how long it'll take the Eglinton LRT to be operational. But yeah, I'm going to have to check that out. Here's what will happen to Toronto's iconic Cube House. After years of threats to close Toronto's iconic Cube House, this beloved structure's long-feared end could be just around the corner. Yeah, developers have had this spot for a long time. This was very, very quirky. Cam says, I forget what Sankofa translates to. It translates to shitty instant coffee brand. Apparently the city is having like an official opening ceremony. What a waste of time, money, and effort. I'll probably go there just to make fun of the whole spectacle. How politicians can be patting themselves on the back for changing a name and making absolutely no one's life better in the process while not doing anything to honor any of the great Torontonians of the past. What a ridiculous waste of time. Anyways, what's going on in Toronto Reddit? Teen charged after woman 71 fatally. What a sweetheart. That's absolutely heartbreaking. And apparently the kid just wanted to steal her car and he was 14. Anyways, heartbreaking. Glad he was caught. Unfortunately, he probably won't get what he really deserves. Shuttle buses are running. Who are they running from? We have had these scheduled closures for the past 10 plus years. Why can't the TTC have express skip stop shuttle services, alternative routing to a different station? Because that would require good planning, which the TTC doesn't do. We got a new CEO of the TTC. Let's give this guy a chance to make good. Trillium Park. That's an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous vantage point. I've streamed from that very part. Police seeking suspect after woman attacked by 2 unleashed dogs near Kensington Market. I did not know about this. That is shitty. Let's find a new, more responsible home for these dogs and take this dude out with the trash where he belongs. That's my takeaway from reading that. I never blame animals, always blame the shitty owner. It's never the animal's fault. They don't know. We're the ones who have the responsibility to take care of them and not put them in a position to be off leash in public attacking people. Mr. Sunjib says, I have a request about walking around Toronto downtown from Thorncliffe Park to Broadview Station, Parquet. That's not really downtown, Mr. Sunjib. I have actually live streamed that, I think, before. I've live streamed that. I started up that way and I went all the way to the Chester Hill Lookout, if I'm not mistaken, and made my way to the Broadview Station, Parquet. I'm sure I'll do something similar to that in the future. What else do we have? Good Reddit timing. Apparently there was a fire. It wasn't a crash, fortunately, at the Indy. But there was a fire there, apparently. 404 says, I was attacked by a pit bull last year. Man, they are fast. Yeah, but why was that pit bull in a position to attack you? Right, shitty owner. Trams are bad, or trams are great, so why are the streetcars so bad? Oh, there's already a thread on this video, which we talked about. I haven't seen the video yet, but I'm going to go on a limb and say the problem is cars and street parking because it always is the problem for public transit in Toronto. Allowing one dude trying to turn left blocking a streetcar full of commuters is apparently not the most efficient way to transport people. Who would have thought? Yeah, one of the biggest problems are suburban councillors weighing in on anything the city does to try to make improvements to the network, and we end up with these half-assed compromises that are terrible. People posting pictures of the new park. Neat. I'm going to have to go see that for myself. An architectural marvel. What, the old Dominion building or the CN Tower? I think both are. Billy T says pit bulls are way too powerful. Maybe we should stop breeding them. Remember, dogs are man-made creations, right? But I don't know. I don't know enough about pit bulls to weigh in on that. I just think that it is 100% of the time the owner's fault, right? If your dog can bite someone in public and cause damage, maybe have a muzzle when you take them out. Keep them on the leash. There's no excuse for that. It's always the person in custody of the animal's fault. I finally come home to the city. That's a gorgeous picture. Smoke says the seats on those streetcars aren't comfortable to sit on. I don't know. I'm all for the hard plastic seats. We got to get rid of that cloth material, right? They just clean way better. Who cares if they're a little bit uncomfortable? The Bay's departure leaves a gaping hole in downtown Toronto. What could fill it? Yeah, what's going to go in that Bay and Saks Fifth Avenue store? Spirit Halloween. There's the number one answer. The world's biggest shoppers drug mart. Marks and Spencer. I'll just settle for some frequently cleaned public washrooms that include family washroom amenities. There we go. Lisa says better than the Go Trade seats. My only beef with the Go Trade seats are that you're interlocking knees with whoever is sitting opposite of you. Why are they configured like that? Why are they like 2 seats 2 feet away from 2 seats facing them? Fine if you're with a group of 3 or 4 people and you all know each other and you're comfortable interlocking your knees if you're over 5'5", but absolutely stupid for anyone else. Flick Hunter says that Not Just Bikes video is a good watch. I'm halfway through it. I can't wait. Camp says I vote we trade Metro for Marks and Spencer. That area could probably use a supermarket, right? There's a TNT up at just north of Yonge and Dundas now. There's a Farm Boy and a Metro at Yonge and College, but I bet a supermarket would probably do well there. Are we done? What time is it? It is 9:10. Yeah, maybe we're done with that. No one wants to see me look bigger. Let's oh, I know what I wanted to do. I saved a few pictures from my trip. Not a lot of pictures, and some of them aren't trip related. Let me make sure I'm not going to show my OnlyFans pictures or anything like that. That's the wrong folder. Where's my folder? Hello, I made a folder. Where are you? Sort by name. No. Come on, Windows. What are you doing? No. Are you kidding me? Why can't I find it? Are they in here? This one's called new folder. No, they're not in there. Well. Okay, here we go. We're going to look at some pictures like that time when your annoying relatives had you gather around and make you go through their slides from their family vacations, because why the heck not? By the way, we have 255 viewers. Thank you so much, guys. Friendly reminder to like, subscribe, hit the bell, and all that fun stuff. And huge thanks to our channel members. We have a bunch of new channel members. Membership definitely appreciated, but not mandatory. Mojo 2112, KJ Edwards, Flick Hunter, Jenny Kritzkamp, David Ace, Sheena Roberts, Jeanette Morales, Vivian Johnson, Alicia Lewis, and Medano. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. I think Scott on Tape has just done a piece called Toronto's Crack Smoking Mayor. I've yet to watch it, but will be. I'll have to take a look at that. Little Johnny, my son can pull his skin like you too. It's so weird. Plastic stretchy boys. I don't know what you mean by that. So this is a picture I took from my walk on the beaches, which I pulled up, which I posted a few days ago. By the way, there'll be another beach walk coming soon, but it is Sandbanks Outlet Beach coming up. And that's a picture of me, for some reason, eating a burger from the Score on Queen. This is the Airbnb where I stayed. I made a video of the Airbnb. I'm not sure if I'm going to post that video on this channel or the other channel, but this is the Airbnb I stayed at in Prince Edward County. Look back, Johnny, you pulled your neck skin. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think I did. Mary W says that's very nice. Yeah, I think it was like one of, if not the highest rated Airbnb. Where's the TV? There's the TV. Now, generally, I am not a fan of mounting TVs on the wall. I think it's pointless. Literally just put the TV on the stand, right? It's a way better height. It's more ergonomic. But this TV, you could pull out an angle and tilt it. So I kind of like that. So I was just lying down on the couch watching the TV pulled out and angled, and you could cast so you could actually angle it down, so it's not too bad lying on your back, and you could cast to YouTube and Netflix. One dude, I think the last guest, left himself logged in to YouTube, so I was in his account. And then he was all like into like car racing and fixing cars and all that fun stuff. So I subscribed him to like Baby Shark. And when I searched for Baby Shark, it pulled up all these like children's channels. So I subscribed him to like 20 kids channels. Dude, you're going to leave your TV logged in. You're going to deal with the consequences. The next day, he unsubscribed from all those channels. I subscribed him to a bunch of more new shit that was annoying. It's kind of like how when I used to work in an office, if you didn't lock your computer whenever you left your desk, someone would send like an I love you email to a random coworker. That was just a rule we had. You know, you lock windows before you walk away, or someone's going to dive in there and do that. Well, this dude left himself logged into YouTube. Someone else left themselves logged into Netflix, which is cool. I watched some stuff on there. LA says terrible couch. You say that, but it was comfortable for lying down. Like I could stretch out fully on it. I'm 5'11", so you can't do that on a whole lot of couches. But this one, I could do that. So that was the Airbnb. That one I posted on Instagram. That was the best steak frites I'd ever had. That's like the Royal Hotel. It's like a new bougie hotel, like $500 a night. Bougie and Picton. But yeah, had pizza, had steak frites, had a nice glass of beer. That's the Regent Theater, 100-year-old theater, over 100-year-old theater. Absolutely charming place. Didn't get to see a movie there. Jolly Consane. This is in Picton, Ontario, Canada. Small town. Chowdhury, welcome to Stumbler. Chowdhury, cheers to you. I'll raise my Cherry Coke Zero. Thank you, Chowdhury. Dylan Reynolds was in Wellington in 2022 to rescue your mom. Well, hopefully your mom was rescued, but yeah, Wellington is part of that area, right? Bloomfield, Wellington, Picton. There is the beach I was at. That is Outlet Beach. It's one of 3 beaches at Sandbanks Provincial Park. So I did a video exploring that beach. That'll be coming up. The obligatory foot picture. Simon Kitty says your friend's daughter works at the Royale. Oh, maybe they were my server or hostess. Lisa says those beaches get busy. Apparently, we struck gold. Normally, you have to book your parking in advance, or you're got to be prepared to wait forever to get a parking pass. And the parking lots fill up, and you're in a pure Hunger Games situation. We were able to just like go there, drive right on in. $21 to park, a little bit steep, but yeah, there's it wasn't that busy. Wasn't that busy. Missing coconuts and foot massages by the water. Yeah, it wasn't Thailand. It wasn't Thailand, but it was nice. Like I went out into the water, and the water was nice. The sand was nice. I think this and Wasaga Beach are probably the 2 most well-known, visited, and popular beaches. It's probably a coin flip between each one, or between the 2 of them, which one is more popular. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. But this was like a Wednesday, I think. This was a piece of art. On the way back from the beach, we went antiquing. There's a couple of well-known antique shops on the way, and I saw this. This is Riverdale Park, a very, very long time ago, with a very, very interesting idea as to what the CN Tower looks like. And First Canadian Place, for some reason, has gigantic communications antennas on it. So this is an interpretive. They even drew like the batting cage for one of the diamonds, which I don't even think you can really see that well from this perspective. On in Riverdale Park West. But yeah, I would say this was drawn in like the 80s, not the 80s, because Scotiabank or Scotia Plaza is there. Early 90s is when I would guess this was drawn. Lisa says flipped perspective. Yes. How did I not pick up on that? I see you in the background. How did I not pick up on that? That is flipped. It says ER, right? That is not. So you know the picture isn't flipped. The initials aren't flipped. This blew my mind. Growing up, my grandparents had these friggin' heads, and they gave them to my parents. And then my parents mounted them on the wall. They creeped me out. They literally gave me goosebumps. And I had to look at these friggin' things every single day on the wall. And I'm in this antique shop, and there's a whole box full of them. So I sent this picture to my mom, and she was like, oh my God. So that's, we had every single one of these things on the wall when I was growing up. They also had a bunch of like other shit that my grandparents had that I took pictures of. But I specifically remember this dude would just give me the heebie-jeebies every time I would walk by. It looked like I was being watched. There's my favorite house in Picton. I really, really like that house. I featured that in the video this morning. I actually went off of Main Street just to include that house in my video. You worked at a school as a headmaster? Maybe I did. I don't remember if I did. I don't think I did, but yeah, that house could be featured in a movie, right? That could be a murder house. That could be a haunted house. That could just be a house a creepy old lady lives and goes back and forth in her rocking chair, and it's full of cobwebs. And every floorboard you step on makes a creaky sound. Although I guess it wouldn't be in such a good state of repair. But I just thought there were some bigger houses. There were some like all stone houses, but this was the one I wanted to get on the video just because I loved it. It was my favorite house in all of Picton that I saw. I just thought it was amazing. And there's a beautiful like weeping willow tree that we can't see in this picture on the side. The paranormal guy touring with Annabelle died. This was one of the vineyards I went to, the Clausen Chase Vineyards, estimated 1998. This was a really cool vineyard. What really sucks is when your plan for the day is going to vineyards and breweries, and they don't have Lyft, they don't have Uber, they have this thing called U-Ride, which there's like 1 or 2 cars in the whole friggin' city, and it costs $50 to go on a 10-minute ride, and you have to wait an hour for the car. So when you see that, you just say, okay, I'm not going to have a lot of fun today, and you just drive. So that sucked for me, but it didn't suck for the people I was with, but it sucked for me a little bit. But beautiful, beautiful winery. We just got a flight of wines. Is Picton near Niagara? No, Picton is not near Niagara. Another picture of me for some reason. Another picture of me for some reason. Another picture of me for some reason with the winery in the background. And then the next wine, which is right next to a winery that Vivian recommended we go to. I think this is called the Huff Estates. Had a Thai tuk-tuk. Like, this is an actual tuk-tuk from Thailand in a winery in like the countryside in Canada. I thought that was hilarious. So, yeah, there's the tuk-tuk. And how could I not hop in the driver's seat? Jeanette says, cool, a Thai tuk-tuk. I actually made a video driving to each winery and walking around each winery a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Maybe nothing. Maybe no one will ever see it. Oop, my mouse just froze. What else do we have here? This was an awesome, awesome brewery called All My Friends. I messaged my friend who's like a beer aficionado who said it was the best brewery we could have gone to in Prince Edward County. And since I had been a good little boy and didn't drink too much wine, I had a couple of beers here. It was good. Well, 1.5. But these were like candied beers. Lisa says, Focus ain't it? Yeah, Focus ain't it. But excellent brewery. And there's where I spent the afternoons. Made the mistake of going in the hot tub at night where there's a million mosquitoes, but in the afternoon, yeah, it's really nice to hang out, have a nice apple pie with some vanilla ice cream on it. There I am at a Spanish tapas restaurant, looking all burnt. Ron Hendricks sent 5 Johnny Stumbles memberships. We have had our first instance of memberships being gifted. Peter Bradfield, Phuket Walk. Ron Hendricks received a gift membership by Ron Hendricks and Rome with Sign. Holy, I think that brings us up to like 15 channel members already. Thank you, Ron Hendricks, and welcome aboard, Peter, Alex, and Sign, and Ron. Thank you so much. Holy shit. As you look at me, clearly it was a day where that's when you get the bartender to drive you home. Yeah, clearly I was drinking too much when I'm having a coffee at... I think I was literally right out of the hot tub straight to dinner. And I was like, oh God, I can't have a drink. Let's have a coffee. But that was a Spanish tapas restaurant. David Ace gifting 5 Stumbles memberships. That takes us up to 20. David Ace, welcome aboard. Anthony Michaels, McNally, 25 Leafs Mats. Chris Mills and Bill Chow and Estelle. So Bill, Chris, Estelle. Zach McNally, Anthony Michaels, courtesy of David Ace. Thank you so much, David Ace, and thank you, Ron Hendricks. You guys are awesome. We now have a very long list of channel members. Thank you so much. Welcome to Stumble Tier, where the benefits are you get a little logo next to your name. But this was what I did on my last day there. I'd never heard of this place. It's called Lake on the Mountain. Apparently, there's a mountain with a lake on the top. That's Lake Ontario in the background, but it's a beautiful place. I did a video going here as well. And of course, I had to have a Lake on the Mountain Brewing Company beer while I was on the mountain. This restaurant had it was the only restaurant that had a really nice view. We got super lucky and got a front row table. But yeah, it's really neat. There's a ferry that goes to a nearby place called Glenora you can take. But yeah, I did a video going up there, Lake on the Mountain. We got to go by the June Hotel on the way. The June Hotel was from that Netflix show Hotel Makeover with those, I'll not say mean things, people who made that hotel happen. Well, I think it was the Sable Beach location on the Netflix show, but it was kind of cool to actually see the hotel in person. It's a beautiful property. I can see why it's been successful. And that was from the Vic Social, where a bunch of girls who I don't think were old enough to drink because they didn't have alcohol on their table were just getting constantly hit on by local townies, and it made it kind of an amusing night because it was karaoke. Yeah, that's all I'll say to that. But yeah, that was at the Vic Social in in Picton. Did you go to Fifth Town by chance? No, I didn't. There's literally 2 places you can go at night. There's the Acoustic Grill and there's the Vic Social. So what? Matt Doctor says lady go-go bars. I made a joke let's go to the go-go bar. There are no go-go bars in Canada. Definitely not Picton. It's kind of a sleepy town. But this is apparently the place to go. And it's still very much like a family place too. They were doing karaoke that night. Fifth Town is a cheese place close to Lake on the Mountain. No, I didn't. Harold Reynolds says Clark Kent lost a custody battle for his kids. Now he can only see them with supervision. That's actually a really good one. Are we all out of pictures? Yeah. I was trying to make a thumbnail for the Airbnb video, and that is what my stupid little walnut-sized brain thought of. And that one. By the way, this Airbnb was awesome. It came with a burr grinder, coffee beans. I brought my protein powder, and there was a blender, which was amazing, and a Metro across the street. They had chairs and an umbrella to take to the beach. They had off-skin-tastic because they know there would be mosquitoes outside. Every little thing you could think of, these hosts thought of. It was just so thoughtful. When we left, we made it just as clean looking. Yeah, this is at checkout, actually. So these pictures were taken as we were checking out. We just put it exactly back to the way it was when we found it. Just because it seems like the decent thing to do. Why not spend 10 minutes, not being a slob? They really like the millennial gray. I don't know why I put that up. That's from an en route. I had myself a combo from Wendy's on the way back. And that is all she wrote as far as the trip, because you pay a stupid and generally sizable cleaning fee. Yeah, you do. And why would you pay a cleaning fee and then do the cleaning? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. They leave reviews of you, right? I don't know. I mean, they still have to take out the trash and stuff. They still have to clean out the hot tub, clean out the shower. I just don't like being a slob when I leave. I always leave hotel rooms looking nice too. I don't know. And I still leave tips for the cleaners. Airbnb, I don't leave a tip. But yeah, that was probably the nicest Airbnb listing that was available in Picton. There might have been nicer ones not available. But that was easily, and the location was awesome. But yeah, I don't know. Earlier in the stream, I just mentioned how if I ever caught someone stealing a package from my porch, I'm straight up going to jail and they're going to the hospital. Like, I just respect other people's property, right? Like, it's not yours. Take really good fucking care of it. Better than you would your own. Not the same as you would your own. The better than you would your own. Just to have respect for it. Like, so that kind of carries over when I stay at places. I just don't want to be... Like, I could never leave my tray on the table at a food court, right? Like, what kind of slob of a human being does that? Not that I'm judging, but you're a total slob if you've ever done that, and you're not supposed to do that. Math Doctor says hotel safes aren't secure. No, they aren't. They have a master key for a lot of them. But if you stay at a reputable or decent hotel, that's not really something you have to worry about, right? Lisa says, like, make a reasonable comparison. Anyways, if you want to call in and say hi, we'll take a few calls, I guess, and then we'll call it a night. We're over the hour and 30 mark. The phone number is 647-313-9658 if you want to call in. We'll keep them short and sweet tonight. But if you just want to call in and say hi, there's your number. Ken was taking your packages while you were gone. Yeah, I don't know. It just really, really pisses me off when a package disappears. Hello, Dylan Reynolds, or is it Harold Reynolds?
Oh, it's me again. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Dylan Reynolds. Why is your dad funnier than you?
I don't know. Yeah. So, Johnny.
Yes, Dylan.
I actually wanted to tell you that I found out that Jeff, that Travel Fund 69, got bitten by a bot fly.
He was bitten by a fly?
A bot fly.
A bot fly?
Yeah, I don't think you ever heard the term bot fly before.
Box fly.
It's a bot fly. He had bitten, and then it was like turned red, and then some liquid was coming out of it.
You're telling Johnny was being bitten by a fly.
No, not in my Jeff. No, the guy on the live stream that I had the other night.
Well, I'm sure everybody wanted to know about the bot fly that bit Jeff. That sucks. That guy can't catch a break, right? He had a bad. I'm looking at pictures of the bot fly. It looks kind of gnarly.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Did you have a good weekend, Dylan?
I did have a good weekend. I was walking with I was at the school on Friday. I was walking with Lucy the dog, and the head of the dog lady.
Well, Dylan, I have to interrupt you for a second. I hope you don't mind, but Chowdhury Shamil Sadik, sorry if I mispronounced your name, but Chowdhury has gifted 10 Johnny Stumbles memberships. Holy Chapoli. Mary W. Boom Productions. L.A. Picard 2005. Jane Jarin. J.D. No Clue. Aiden Thompson McGuire. Finder Place. Welcome to membership. Holy crap. And Mike T. Chowdhury and JD. I don't know. I'm forgetting if I read all these names, but Chowdhury, we've got 30 new channel members tonight. Holy crap. Thank you so much, Chowdhury, for your support and for being a valued member of the community, and welcome to membership to all 10 new channel members. That is wild. Thank you so much. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, Dylan, do you have anything else to share with us other than Jeff's bot fly incident?
Well, I also wanted to share that, speaking of Piston, we ended up having about 3 years ago. We ended up having to go into Prince Edward County around midnight to rescue my mom.
Rescue your mom. What does that mean?
Like, do you remember what happened, Dad?
Yeah, her friend lost her car key.
Oh, so she was locked out of a car and had no way out.
Yeah, we had to drive. We had to drive all the way over there, like 11:30 at night, to rescue.
You know, when I'm because I use like a rental car, right? I use this one that Romano gave me. I'm paranoid about that, about losing a key or locking it in the car because like I don't even have a second set of keys. And when you're away, that's a game over right there, right?
Yeah, they did that in Disney World in Florida once. That wasn't fun.
Yeah, you gotta. But at least back then with older cars, like some dude could come and like get the, open up the door or whatever. But yeah, that sucks. Well, Dylan, are you gonna put your dad on the phone to tell us a joke?
Yeah. Okay. I got two. First of all, with all their praying, what religion are mantises?
So, what religion are what?
Mantises.
Mantises.
Like the praying mantis.
Oh, I have no idea.
It varies. They're all insects.
Ha.
Yeah.
Oh. And how about joke number 2?
And the other one is, did you hear about the trampoline team from Prague? They call themselves the bouncing checks.
The trampoline team from Prague. They call themselves the Bouncing Czechs. That was a good one. Well, thank you, Dylan and Mr. Reynolds. Thank you for calling in. Hopefully you don't have to go on any more rescue missions up to Prince Edward County.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks for calling.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. We got a call coming in. Hello there.
Hello.
Mr. Bradfield. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Bradfield. We have an emergency. Ron Hendricks gifted 5 channel memberships. Lorraine McLean, Joe DLS, Keith Fox, Chris the Pepsi driver, and Christos. Thank you so much, Ron Hendricks. People, I think we're up to like 35 or 40 members tonight. Holy shitballs.
Wow. I wanted to say thank you to Ron, by the way. I
Well,
was in his last match, by the way.
well, Ron, Peter Bradfield says thank you. Well, Peter, what's new with you?
Kama say, kama sa is sort of where I'm at. I did get to my primary care physician. I seem to not have any issues with diabetes yet at all.
It's always good.
And I seem to be okay generally, but there is a little concern about my blood as far as anemia, and they're a little worried about the iron level dipping again. And there was a little issue of having me be on aspirin, baby aspirin, before I was, they could do the Watchman device. But there's been a alternative. So we'll see how it goes. Atlanta's gotten wickedly hot, but luckily we've gotten some rain in. Other than that, I'm just the last couple of days, weeks on the issues of what's going on here in this country have mind-boggled me.
Can I ask you your opinion on something briefly?
Yeah.
What do you think about Stephen Colbert getting the axe? I know that kind of ties into everything.
I'm very unhappy. I tried to tell you in the chat, but I guess you didn't hear. There is an online petition, but I think it's limited to the U.S. residents, but so far it's going past the goal, how many people have signed, and it's directed to CBS and Paramount.
Yeah. Which is now going to be
And-
Skydance. Yeah.
And we are asked if we'd be willing to be interviewed by a reporter. I said yes. I wrote that the reason why I am in support of them not axing him is because Colbert has kept me sane through a lot of this, what's going on. I think he's kept a lot of us here in America sane.
Well, what I think is great about him is he's not a company man, right? He called his own network out for bribing. He's just right. He's not Jimmy Fallon. He's not,
That's true too.
Yeah,
that is true too.
he's not kowtowing to anyone.
I hate watching Jimmy Fallon. I really do.
Yeah, he's not very genuine, but
No.
But the good news is Colbert can now be a little bit unhinged over his last 10 months. And I think he's the number one show on late night. So obviously it wasn't a business decision. It was we were told this is part of the agreement decision.
Yes, and one other thing for me, he's from this area of the country. He's from South Carolina. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
That's but neighbor to Georgia, and not too far away from where I am from, Florida. Oh yeah, he was born and raised in South Carolina. So I have a great affinity for, his type of humor is my type of humor. Most definitely.
Yeah. Well,
it's very rather biting.
To be honest, I liked it before the show got overly political, but I mean, obviously, it is that.
Oh, I do too. I like when he doesn't have to be overly political, but unfortunately, times being where they are, he had to.
Yeah, it's just that's the one thing I don't like. I watch the recaps of those shows. It's hard to sit down through just politics every single night when it's entertainment time. But I mean, he's
I know what you're saying.
I'm positive he'll land back on his feet. And
oh yeah, I'm positive too. And I would think that eventually this country will too. But it feels like we're going to have to go through some hell before we do.
All right, crikey.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Peter. You know what I'm going to ask you?
Do I have a joke? And I was going to say yes, I do.
All right, let's hear it.
Why shouldn't you smoke weed during a thunderstorm?
Why shouldn't you smoke weed during a thunderstorm? You got me.
Because lightning strikes the highest object.
That is a good one, Peter, because lightning strikes the highest object. Well, I wish you the best with your health and your country, Peter. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you.
And we'll talk again soon, I'm sure. All right, Peter. It was a delight.
Okay, thank you.
Cheers.
You too. Have a good night.
Have a good night. That was Peter Bradfield. So we've had Dylan Reynolds and Peter Bradfield calling in. If anyone else wants to join the party, we can take another call, I guess. 647-313-9658. A number of people tried to call. Hello there.
Hey, how are you?
Is this Lisa?
It might be.
What's up, Lisa? We're gonna have an art-free chat tonight. Is that possible?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. What's up, Lisa?
Nada. How did you enjoy all of your driving?
You know what? If there's no traffic to be stuck in, or cities as big as Toronto to navigate, driving's kind of pleasant. Driving around the countryside is kind of nice. You know, not everyone's in a rush. People like stop at stop signs. They yield when it's your right of way. It's just this nice, pleasant experience. It's, you know, the anxiety of driving in the city is not there, or sitting in traffic is not there. So I didn't mind it. I didn't like it when I couldn't enjoy the wineries as much as I would, because you know, you need someone to take one for the team and be responsible. But you know, for the most part, I liked it. How was your driving? Or did you take the GO train?
It was okay. Sorry?
Did you take the GO train or you drove?
I took the GO train to Niagara, and then from there I drove.
Neat.
Would you do it all the time?
Would I do what all the time?
Drive.
If I lived in the countryside, yes. I've often thought, like, you know, if I bought a car, because I do have very affordable parking in this building, you know, my insurance would be fine. You know, I would be a 6-star or whatever. Like, it's not something I couldn't afford. It's just something that I can't justify because I hate doing it. If like, I have a car right now. I've had it all weekend, and I had to go out today, and it's like, why the hell would I take my car out and go somewhere when I can just jump on the subway, or I can spend $15 and get into a Lyft and go door to door? Like, it just, no, I wouldn't do it living where I live. I mean, there would be more road trips. There would be more small towns on the channel. There'd be a lot more of that stuff, but no, I personally wouldn't do it. I have the means to do it. I just don't. How about you? If someone gave you a car and it was insured and you didn't even have to pay for it, would you keep it or would you sell it?
I think I would keep it to leave town, but would I drive it in the city? No, not at all. Like, the thing about going to Niagara that I don't like is that you have to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, transit is not a thing that's to be used. And I guess you can Lyft an Uber out there, but it's not a. You're paying a lot for how little distance you cover, I guess.
Well, to go from where my parents are to, like, St. Catharines, it's only like a 10 to 15 minute drive. But if you were to take a Lyft, it's like $25. Yeah, no. I'm very grateful for Lyft and Uber when it's like a certain time of the night and I just want to get home. But yeah, it's not that economical. But overall, it's cheaper to do that, right? It's cheaper to, like, rent a car when you need one, take transit, and then take the odd Lyft or Uber, then to own a car. So there's that too. Oh, no, totally. But I just like being able to walk on my door and do what I need to do on foot.
Yep. But, you know, certain people think the 15-minute city is an evil thing, right? It's control.
Oh, it's mind control. Yeah.
Having everything you need at your doorstep is controlling you. But you know where those people are totally
trying to control where you go.
You know, there's one thing that makes all those people total fucking idiots. You can still buy a car and own a car if you live in a 15-minute neighborhood. You can still go wherever you want, whenever you want, right? Where's the control? And they're all about control. Guess what? When you get a driver's license, when you register your vehicle, you're giving the government all of your personal information in a heavily regulated endeavor. And you want to say someone who has the autonomy to walk wherever they want, whenever they want, to get whatever they want, is the one under control, living under the government's thumb? It's just so mind-blowingly stupid whenever I hear that argument. I don't know.
I love, if that's like the biggest, whatever issue we have in this world, I'll take it. It's not, but I'll take it,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously there's, innocent civilians being bombed and all kinds of other shit happening. That is a lot worse, but it would be a beautiful world if that was our biggest issue.
I agree.
So do you have anything to share with us tonight?
Not specifically. I have a bad joke if you want it.
Yep, we love bad jokes. Let's hear it.
What did the left eye say to the right eye?
What did the left eye say to the right eye? Let's hear it.
Between you and me, something smells.
If I had a gong, I would hit it. But that's almost Harold Reynolds worthy. Almost Mr. Reynolds worthy.
Almost, not quite.
But that was a good one, Lisa. It was a pleasure. Thank you for calling in.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, eh?
Cheers.
Math Doctor says that was a pretty good one. Hey, we've got an anonymous phone call that literally just gave up as soon as I hit answer. And now I don't know what I'm looking at. We can do one more call, right? All right, have a good night, Johnny. Oh, sorry, I gotta get you on speakerphone. Sorry, hello there.
Can you hear me?
Hello, it's
I can't hear anything.
Oh, can you hear us now?
I can just about hear your voice. How are you, Johnny? It's Wales. It's David in Wales.
David.
How are you doing there?
David in Wales. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yes, it's very. I don't know if there's enough credit here to ring you. I've had to put in some money, but nice to speak to you. So I'm sorry if we get cut off. I love to think about the Winter Olympics when they're in Canada. And then somebody else, he mentioned, what was the 7 wonders of the world, Niagara.
Yes.
That was really lovely.
Yes.
Oh, well, I was really pleased to hear those. Have you gone to the Winter Olympics sometimes? Have you attended?
No, they've been in Vancouver and Calgary in my lifetime, and I think Quebec City. Were they? But I haven't been.
Calgary, you have the Winter Olympics as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they had it in '88 when I was growing up, and that one, because they built all the facilities, so we had all these world-class facilities. The Canadian Olympic team now had Olympic facilities to train in our own backyard, so that really vaulted Canada into being like an elite Winter Olympics country. So it's.
Well, anyway, it's lovely to think about it. I know in Canada you do it really with excellence, and you deserve every bit of money that you get because it's really it's very well staged. You're real expert at it, but then you have the snow, don't you?
Yeah, from coast to coast. we could hold the Winter Olympics in any of our big. Toronto we wouldn't have very good skiing. We'd be a little bit lacking, but yeah, you could hold it anywhere in this country.
Clever. Oh, well, it brings back memories. Things come back to me. I remember that very much. 1988, I didn't recall properly the year. It's very nice that you say that.
That was the year Brian Boitano got the gold medal over Brian Orser, who was the vastly better skater. So that left a very, very sour taste in a lot of Canadians' mouths, that corrupt judging. But other than that, it was a lovely event.
You still stage it really well. I couldn't quite hear, but you stage it well. It's hard to hear what you're saying, but there we are. You do it really well in Canada.
Yeah, and
you've got the snow, you've got everything.
Yeah, the only one we didn't do so well was Montreal. They made a bit of the Summer Olympics, though. They made a bit of a boondoggle with the Olympic Stadium on that one.
Yeah.
But they were.
Well, winter is great. I like winter.
Yeah.
I like to think about it. It's nice. And your joke, I hope I get this all right. I hope we can stay on the line, is it's still the same puppet fox one, because I couldn't think what could we do, but we can do one for you. What is it? That somebody says, somebody says, do you want to look at my German? Do you want to know what it says in my German phrase book? And the person says, yes, that's Basil Brush saying that, the fox actually. Anyway, he says, it says Guten Morgen, good morning.
Good morning.
Guten Abend, good evening, and Gute Nacht, good night. And the person says, oh, well, that was quick. Have you booked the flight back? That's the end of the joke. That was a quick day.
Excellent.
Have you booked the flight back? Because it's already nighttime, right?
Yes, I get it.
Anyway, but I hope all your regulars are fine. Your mother and that other lady who rings, I forget, Estelle or something. I can't remember the name.
Estelle?
And you have Dylan Reynolds and Harold Reynolds.
Yep.
And Tequila.
Diva Tequila.
Tequila, is it? Yeah. Well, they all sound great. I haven't been able to hear them calling properly because it's been difficult to be able to ring you. Obviously, I'm really ill, but I did it specially, and there's your joke for you.
Well, thank you, David.
You can enjoy the week with that.
Thank you, David and Wells. That was certainly a good one, and I hope you have.
Enjoy your walks.
Well, thank you. All the best with your health, and I hope you have a wonderful week.
That's kind of a nice vacation. Yeah, Yachida is good health in Welsh.
Yeah.
That's right. I think I said that at the end of. So yes, Yachida, and you say it also when you raise a glass. So if you're saying cheers, you can say good health. You know, it's nice,
yes.
but
a little bit ironic, given that you're drinking.
Winter Olympics reminding.
Awesome. Yeah. Well.
I can't hear you.
Sorry. I think we got a little interrupted there.
No problem, but you look after everything, and maybe I can find a time to ring you, and I'll say hello. It's difficult to get that number. Say it very clearly, because some of us are really old, and we need to be able to hear it properly. But yes, I remember. If I say Alf and Elf, that goes back a little while, doesn't it? So you can enjoy that. I won't say anything else so you don't think anything conscious. But yes, that's really nice to think of them. Yeah, it came to me. So
okay.
Look after everything. Yachida, good health. Yachida. I'll speak to you.
All right, David in Wales. Thank you so much.
Be really well.
Okay. That was David in Wales, everyone. He should have a podcast, shouldn't he? Super entertaining. That was the second time calling. And hello there, Diva Tequila, if I'm not mistaken.
Hi.
I can always tell by the name on the phone when it's you.
I know, because I don't block it. I'm not going to block my number.
Nobody blocks it, actually.
No? Good.
But don't worry, I'm
show
not.
Your face,
I'm not gonna dox you and show the world your number.
How are you?
No, I am not. So what's up with you? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, I'm pretty much chilling all weekend. I've been helping a friend move, so I'm like so tired and I'm late to your party.
Oh, moving from where to where?
From Oakville to Toronto.
Oh wow! Was it just?
It's not far, but just traffic is still brutal, you know.
Was there back and forths, or did you do it all in one shot?
Oh, it was back and forth. That's why I'm zonked.
Yeah, I helped my mom move the other week, and it was back and forth, but it was within the same city. We had to do 3 runs. Doing multiple runs is killer.
It is a killer, especially sometimes. And the weekend wasn't too bad. Like, the weather wasn't bad. Hi, everyone. I know I'm totally late to your party. I missed everything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to check the replay, bro.
It's all good. I'll summarize it for you.
Okay.
Picton.
Tell me about Picton.
Tell you about Picton. We talked about Picton. I showed pictures.
I know, I missed it.
I'm all Pictoned out. We're all Pictoned out.
But
as long as we had a good time.
But some cool people called in. Some very generous people. Ron Hendricks, David Ace donated a bunch of channel memberships. So thank you so much to them. Some people signed up to memberships. We heard some funny jokes. So you're all caught up, basically.
Stumbles is always a good time. That's cool. It's different. Would you ever think of like starting like an actual podcast where you maybe like meet some of your or like talk to some of your favorites like one-on-one? Did you ever think of doing that?
The closest I ever did to that was when I did that chit chat with Ken on the Strides channel.
Yeah, that's what made me think. That seems fun. That was cool.
Yeah, I think it might be better to just sort of do a walk and talk on a video. Just to like, I don't know if I can do the just sitting here. Like doing
a mukbang.
Yeah,
maybe going with someone to a restaurant.
Stumbles.
Like trying different foods and just picking out.
This works because I feed off the chat, right? Like I couldn't sit here and do this. I don't even know if I could do an interview with one person without the chat to power a lot of my thoughts.
Okay.
Right? There's not a whole lot going on around this noggin.
Maybe just a quick Q&A, even if it's like a 5-10 minute type podcast. But the Stumbles works pretty good.
Yeah, that's something to explore. Maybe I'll redo that thing I did with Ken. Maybe it could be like a video call, do it remote, have them on the screen that way. Because
cool.
At a certain point, if it's like, hey, come over to my apartment to do a podcast, that works with Ken. But for some people, they might be like, creeper alert. Let me
have to do like a restaurant or like
another location,
a park even.
Yeah, or just remotely. I don't know. It's something to think about. Ron Hendricks says I should read some more of the jokes. I'll try to make an effort.
Is there do you have the option of if you're doing a live, can someone join your live, whether they're doing it on their phone or computer?
While I'm
not
while I'm walking around. No, I don't even.
No, you're there at home, and
having a panel, like a chat panel.
Yes, thank you.
That's what I meant. I could probably do that. Maybe
something to think about.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a TO Walktuber panel. We could have some
something
people
to
on.
Think about.
Maybe have a local I don't know. There's lots of things to explore that I should have done long by now and haven't. I just
There's lots of things because YouTube is always advanced and always.
And here I am just doing the same videos over and over again, but it works.
But this is cool. Every Sunday, it works. It does work.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the people in the chat because if it wasn't for the chat, these videos would be hella boring.
Here I am tired. I feel like I have nothing. I feel like I'm just rambling. But I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm glad I caught you.
Well, I'm glad
I caught everybody.
I'm glad you called.
Yeah.
But
you had a great time
but you know what? We're gonna let this be the last call of the night. So
oh no.
We've rolled out the red carpet for you.
Don't make me laugh.
No.
Did you end up looking at that guy, Jack Morgan, on YouTube?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
Hey, Lisa's our number 2 top fan tonight. Madano is number 3.
Lisa's awesome.
I don't even know. Yeah, she called in tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to check your replay. Tomorrow I'm off, actually, so that's good. I just have some work to do at home, but I'm home for the most part. I got to catch up with everybody's streams this weekend.
I might...
Yeah.
I have this car. I have to return it tomorrow. I might just turn the camera on and do a little stream returning it. Drive around some neighborhoods. I don't know.
Well, we'll be here. We'll see it.
Yeah, it'll be but I won't have a chatbot assistant. So the problem with those driving live streams are I can't look at my chat while I'm operating a vehicle. I can't use the phone. Right.
Your chatbot assistant was amazing. I love her. If I could, I'll just keep it to myself. I'm tired.
Well,
I won't be a bad girl. I'll be a good girl.
all right. Well, you can tell us a bad joke.
I have a good joke. Hopefully it'll be like a funny one for everyone and just ha ha ha, you know.
All right, let's hear it.
So, where does a lizard go when it loses its tail?
Where does a lizard go when it loses its tail? Let's hear it.
To a retail store. Ba-da-bum! Where's it gone?
That was good. To the retail store.
Yeah.
That was actually a really. We've had all really good jokes tonight. We've had all really good jokes.
Right? Everyone's killing it tonight. There you go.
Well, I want to thank you for calling in, Miss Tequila.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank you, everybody. You guys are all awesome.
and have yourself a wonderful week ahead.
Same to you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
All right.
All right,
Thanks
guys.
for the joke. Have a good night. Bye. All right, that was Diva Tequila wrapping up the phone call section of the stream. And I'm actually just going to wrap this whole thing up. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Holy crap. I've been watching the price of something go up, up, and up. Go Hedera, if you know what that is. But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you to our new channel members. Ron and David Ace, thank you for donating the memberships that you did, you guys. I honestly thought we might have like 5 or 6 after tonight. But no, we, for this little channel, now have 36 channel members. 36 channel members. Wow. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting what I do. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do leave a like if you want to. Leave a comment. Jenny K, now that you are on very sturdy, strong ice, feel free to leave any comments you want. You're not going to be on thin ice anytime soon. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Gertej, you need to call in again sometime, Gertej. I think people would love to hear from you again. But thank you, Ron. Thank you, Zach, Sheena, all the mods, Vivian, Madano. Did I see Yogi make an appearance? She did either on this one or the previous one. But thank you, Estelle, Sheena. I'm just running in circles here. But thank you, guys. Jeanette, Carol, Mary W. I'm going to shut up now. Thank you. Have a good night. There'll be a video tomorrow morning on the Johnny Strides channel, 9 a.m. EST. Have a good night. Yoink.